Hello, my name is Austin Fink. If we were going to have an in-person graduation ceremony today, I was going to deliver a speech as the senior class president. And I mean, even if we can't, why waste all the effort I went into writing this? I hope that the message that I can deliver with this speech can still reach ears and do good, change hearts, change minds, all the stuff speechwriters strive for. Maybe I'm greedy and I just want to speak in front of you all. Ignore that, I'll just dive right in. Let me start by addressing the elephant in the room. It is a tragedy that our senior year was cut short by this pandemic. I mean, this was supposed to be the year where we got rewarded for all of our hard work. Instead, we were blindsided by a terrible and evil fear that was out of our control. So we didn't get a sports banquet, we didn't get a CTE showcase, we didn't get a trip to Washington, D.C., and we certainly didn't get a senior prom. Not because we did anything wrong, but because that's how the chips fell. And as much as I want this speech to be about our perseverance or fighting spirit, that doesn't make much sense upon review. Perseverance is defined as a continued effort to accomplish something, often attempting to do so under the same methods repeatedly. But what happens when our preferred approach doesn't work, or when our goal cannot be achieved the way we would like? I believe that we, as a class, have shown a far greater strength than perseverance. Adaptation. Allow me to expand on this belief. When our class first arrived at this school as freshmen, we walked headlong into the first year that Crusader Connections was to be implemented. While I admire the faculty for adopting their own approaches that made the course functional, it is my firm belief that no one, teacher or student, truly liked the class when we started. Sure, we had all known seminar classes that were similar, but this was a complete game changer for everyone. Personally, I think this is emblematic of our entire transition to high school. The fundamental rules we followed were changed, and it was our challenge to adapt to those changes. And even though many of us saw no reward in this change, we all rose to the challenge regardless. This is what I meant by adaptation being our crowning feature. No matter what environment we find ourselves in, we change not only to survive in it, but thrive. Not quite convinced? Just look at what you've accomplished over these past 4 years. What happened when your coach wanted more work from you than you were willing to give? Did you give up and quit, or did you meet their request? What about when your competition was hours away and you had to get up early and get home late? Did you just not go, or did you make it work? What happened when your teachers gave more work and demanded more commitment than you had ever given in school before? Well, I think I know the answer to that last one, because you wouldn't be celebrating this day with me if you had just quit. And though the end result was never clear to us, we now have the luxury to look back and see how our labor has paid off. To name a few examples, we have a state champion tennis player, several state qualifying wrestlers, and a regional champion Scholars Bowl team. I could even contribute to that by delivering our school's first win at a regional debate competition. Shout out to my partner, Austin Harriger. But I think it's important to remember that we all had a part to play these past few years. You did your job and played by the rules at every step. And when the game was changed, you changed the way that you played. So where do we go from here? We completed high school, but we still have our whole lives ahead of us. A whole world of unknown adventures and dangers. I have a confession to make. I've been making change sound easy and clean since I started speaking. We didn't adapt to every new circumstance overnight. It was a messy process that required us to fail repeatedly. Think back to the popular nursery rhyme from our youth. We had to first discover that we can't go over it, then that we couldn't go under it, fail again when we discovered that we couldn't go around, and only then could we succeed by going through. None of us are strangers to failure, and those of us that are more familiar with it are just the wisest of our group. In our future, we will interact with professors, employers, and people we don't get along with. The professors will grade harshly. The employers may choose someone else over you, and the people we don't get along with will betray and belittle you. Failure is an inseparable symptom of progress and our biggest source of growth. But you have a secret weapon. Most, if not all of us, are so familiar with failure that we know how to recover. We all have, at some point, hit the wall and found the way to climb over it. I have no doubt in my mind that the people I share this day with are going to be the toughest and most successful individuals in whatever they strive for. In short, we should never be afraid of failure, for it is the flame which tempers strength. And we should never fear change, because we'll never know what goodness lies beyond our borders if we just stay inside them. In closing, I would like to leave you with a few words that have granted me guidance through many hardships. This is Risks by Leo F. Buscaglia. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To laugh is to risk appearing a fool. To hope is to risk despair. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To place your ideas and dreams before a crowd is to risk their loss. To try is to risk failure, and to live is to risk dying. But these risks must be taken because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing does nothing, has nothing, and is nothing. Only a person who risks is free. Congratulations, class of 2020. I wish you all good luck in whatever you choose to do.